Way is a talented comedian, actor, and activist. Using his quirky quips and straightforward attitude, Steve shares his own unique journey with muscular dystrophy. He has gained national attention through his motivational speaking engagements, his co-creatorship of the web series Uplifting Dystrophy, and through his comedic sidekick role in the groundbreaking and hilarious HULU show, Ramy. Steve also is a stand-up comedian and a substitute teacher alumnus of Rutherford High School in New Jersey. His work with the Muscular Dystrophy Association as an advocate for the disability awareness speaks volumes to his character and his desire to help others overcome adversity. Steve is a genuine, multifaceted man. With his talents, his down-to-earth persona, blunt style of vernacular, and a fantastical way he approaches life, it is truly hard not to be captivated by him or his humor. We are so excited to have Steve here today. So in August, you celebrated your 10th anniversary of your first comedic stand-up performance, which is impressive. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Has crafting jokes and quipping always been natural for you?
Yeah, growing up, I've always used comedy as a form of like a coping mechanism for my disability. I would always try to turn something into a joke. People would be like, "Oh, Steve, your shoe's untied." And I was like, "Okay, it's not like I'm gonna walk and trip on it." But my friends and family were always in on the joke, so nobody really got like too uncomfortable or weirded out about it. I've also been public speaking since I was about 9 years old, so I kind of just blended the two together, and out came stand-up comedy.
That's fantastic. So what challenges did you face trying to make the big stage?
Honestly, it's just finding venues that I can perform in. Being so close to New York, obviously, the comedy scene is so big, but like 99% of comedy theaters in New York are not wheelchair accessible. Especially the big ones like UCB up until a couple years ago. So it was always so hard to try to perform and get on stage consistently. I could never go to an open mic. So really any show that I was a part of was like my practice.
Yeah. And do you have a favorite comedian?
I think my favorite comedian is probably Hannibal Buress.
Okay.
I just love his very dry delivery. And he's not afraid to, be like edgy and honest.
Yeah. Yeah. And so on your website, steveway.com, it states that you're a stand-up comedian, a motivational speaker, and a long-lasting battery. Can you tell us a bit more about the description and how it fits to your personal journey with muscular dystrophy?
Yeah, I mean, it's anyone with dystrophy can tell you it's not easy. You have to deal with the health barriers. You have to deal with societal barriers, government barriers. There's a lot that are in our way just on a daily basis. So it's basically a full-time job, just trying to survive. Trying to make money, trying to get decent health care, trying to just go out and live your life. So to do all of that on top of trying to have a career in Hollywood, it's a real juggling act. Trying to make it in Hollywood is hard for anybody, but to do it with a disability is just it takes it to a whole other level.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so like Hollywood, speaking of Hollywood, it's certainly behind in recognizing the contributions of talented people with disabilities in front and behind the cameras. And like nonetheless, this year you were nominated as Best Guest Actor in the comedy series for the 72nd Primetime Emmy Awards.
I was on the ballot.
Oh, yeah.
No, so basically I had the opportunity to get the opportunity.
Yeah.
But I that's still like that's still really big.
That's huge.
Yeah. Like I did it wrong. I have to correct you and say that like I was not nominated, but I had the opportunity to be nominated, so yeah, it's still pretty big.
That's big next year.
Yeah.
You know, and like, but you know, even though, do you think your inspiring work will lead to more opportunities to see people with differences reflected in the media?
I hope so. I really hope so. You know, I hope that studio executives and writers, producers, directors are able to see what I'm doing and think, oh, maybe we were wrong about disabled performers. You know, I think we should give them more a chance. So if that happens, then I did my job.
Yeah. Well, you also have a web series, Uplifting Dystrophy, and so which tells the story of you and your friend Jonathan Braylock attempting to attend cool parties together. However, in the series, you were faced with challenges of accessibility to participate in those cool parties. You and Jonathan demonstrate with humor a few choice phrases, how accessibility is crucial to independence. So tell us more about how you advocate for disability accessibility and your work with the Muscular Dystrophy Association.
Well, I mean, I definitely like to do it in my work. You know, and my work is it's all real.
Yeah.
It's honest. You know, I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to not cover any details. Because one, people should know. They should know everything. You know, they should know how difficult it is to navigate life while disabled. But also, the more real it is and the more authentic it is, the better it is. And it has the bigger opportunity to be more funny. So, you know, either with that or my public speaking, I just try to be as real as possible. You know, I don't want to sugarcoat anything. You know, like when I give a talk about healthcare, I talk about my struggle, but I also talk about all my friends that have died because of this horrible healthcare system that we have. And yeah, it's really depressing to hear. But again, it's our lives. It's our realities. It's the reality that we face every day when we wake up. So again, you know, it's really important for people to know exactly what we go through. But the more real and authentic it is, the more effective it is to the person who is watching or listening.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I know, like, speaking of that, like another forum where you've spoken is Comic-Con in 2016. You're part of the Disability, Accessibility, and Inclusion panel, Where Are All the Wheelchairs, which featured actors, writers, models, filmmakers, and comedians. So you guys discussed the magnitude of the significance in seeing talented people with disabilities reflected in the entertainment outlets today. So if you could give one piece of advice to the mainstream media and the entertainment industry regarding the plight of so many talented people being underrepresented, what would it be?
Just give us the opportunity. You know, we're not asking for like jobs right away. We know that they have to be earned, but if you just give us the opportunity, we are confident that we will earn them. You know, I know tons of so many talented performers and writers who are just never given the chance to showcase their work and their talents. and it's absolutely criminal. There's no reason to not give us the opportunity anymore. Because if I and other people like me are doing what we're doing, then that's all the proof that you need. You know, the old like misunderstandings and misconceptions of disabled people, whether it was, they can't work a full day, they don't have the stamina to do it, they're just not good enough, it would be too many accommodations. It's not true. It never was, and again, I and others like me have proved that wrong multiple times over the last 3, 4, 5 years. So there are truly no more excuses and no reason to not hire us.
And what would you say to somebody who has a disability who wants to go in there, to find that courage and to not get discouraged when they get turned down? Or
yeah, it's just another part of life. It's going to be hard. You're going to get rejected. But you're also going to get out there. You're going to meet people. You're going to get better at what you do. And as long as you just keep going, keep at it, you keep working on yourself to better yourself, you don't get trapped in all the negative thoughts that come with it, you're going to make it in some form or another. So just gotta keep going. It's hard, but you just have to keep going.
yeah. And so Ramy Youssef has been your best friend since 2001 when you were both in 5th grade. Did you know at the time you had met someone humorous and talented like yourself?
Oh, I mean, no, it should be the other way around. You should be asking him that.
Yeah.
That he met me and knew I was talented. No, it's really funny because after season 1 aired, and we did interviews and we did press tours for it, and the more talking about it that we did, we slowly started to realize now that we met and became really close friends due to some really shared feelings. We met right after 9/11, and it was right when I transferred into the school that Ramy was at. So, right around this time, I'm the new kid in school, and then a week and a half after school starts, 9/11 happens. So kids are hearing what the news is saying, they're hearing what their parents are saying, and, they start to kind of put 2 and 2 together and say, oh, something's up with Ramy. So we really kind of bonded because we were like the outcasts at the time. But it didn't really take us until now to fully appreciate and realize that.
Yeah. And so if you two could share one wish together, what would it be? No, you're the only one. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, probably courtside season tickets for the Lakers. I don't know if that counts. Honestly, all we want to do is just make really dope stuff. We just want to create stuff. We just want to tell our stories and give other people the opportunity to tell their stories. I am very lucky and grateful that Ramy is doing that for me now. So if I could do that for someone else and just keep that chain going, the world will just be better for it. I think the more stories that are told, the more diverse voices that are out there, you create a more empathetic world. And I think we really need that right now.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And so, what inspired you to pursue a substitute teacher position at Rutherford High School, New Jersey, where you guys graduated?
I wanted to be a full-time teacher. I went to college for history education, but 4 years of college took a lot out of me. So I thought, why not just do the next best thing? So I became a substitute teacher. I love it. I love my job. The kids are super helpful. They're super respectful. I'll probably never get to do it again because schools just aren't a thing anymore.
Yeah.
And that really bums me out. But, if I never get to do it again, yeah, I'll be really sad about that. But I met a lot of great kids. I heard a lot of great stories. And I think it made me a better person for it.
Yeah. Did you ever think that you would go back to your high school where you graduated?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I did. But I never thought I would get so much out of it. Substitute teaching for me at least, is one of the most rewarding feelings I have ever had.
Yeah. So, what advice would you give someone with a physical disability who wants to pursue a career in teaching?
Oh, just do it. If you think you can do it, then just do it. It was definitely hard for me to come to the realization that I couldn't be a full-time teacher. But, that's just life for everybody. We all have limitations. We all have things we can't do. And yes, I and people like me obviously have more than others. But that doesn't mean I can't be a substitute teacher for high school. That doesn't mean I can't be an actor. And yeah, obviously I'm not going to be like an astronaut,
Yeah.
But so aren't millions of other people. Is that something for me to get down about? No. There are 50 other things I could do.
Well, you still have your hair. If you were a full-time teacher, you probably
All
would
right,
have.
that's going soon.
Yeah.
All right, I'm almost 30. My hairline is it's going back.
Well, I can't tell from here, but if you were a teacher, it would all be gone. I have several friends who are teachers, and
I'm hoping for a couple more years.
yeah.
A couple more years. Just give me one season of my own show.
Yeah.
And I don't care if all my hair falls out. And then just give me one season with a full head of hair, and I need a bald for the rest of my life.
Perfect. That's what toupees are for if you want, to have one style here and there, but
That's it. Huh. I mean, I haven't got a haircut since like February. So I'm just like, it's like the physical embodiment of my mental state right now. So you know what? I'm just gonna let it grow. Just gonna let it grow throughout the winter, So
yeah. I haven't gotten my hair either since February, I think so.
I can enjoy it while it lasts.
Yeah. So I have a few humorous friends myself that are teachers like you, and they often tell me that working with students leads to some silly and outrageous anecdotes. So have you used any of your humorous teaching moments in any of your stand-up comedic performances?
No, but I do like to, just tell jokes to the kids. Especially like first period, where it's like 8 o'clock and even I'm half asleep. I'll tell them like, guys, just do your work. I shouldn't be up this early. I don't get paid enough to be up this early. So just please don't bother me. I'm just here to make sure you guys don't kill each other. That's it. I'm literally there to prevent murders between students. So it's an easy job, but I don't get paid enough to do it.
Yeah. Do you think there is a similarity in your careers as a teacher and performer of stand-up comedy?
Yeah, because there definitely are some days when I substitute that I have to act. Like I said, if I am tired, I just don't want to be there. I gotta put on that happy face. But as I said before, the kids are just so nice and respectful, and it gives me hope for the future of this world. They get it. They're angry at the world, and sometimes they're not quite sure what they're angry at. So I just tell them it's capitalism, and then they get it. But they know the world is a scary place. They know that once they leave high school, they are in for not a fun time, but they're ready for it, and they want to change the world badly, and it's really inspirational. It really is. I really admire these kids. I wish I was just half as aware and driven as they were when I was their age.
So that actually leads into my next question. So with what you know now, being a successful humorist, comedian, actor, and activist, what would you have told your younger self 15 to 20 years ago?
Well, it's funny you say that because 20 years ago was when I stopped walking. So definitely would have told myself it's okay. You'll get used to it. You'll adapt and you'll manage. I wish I had more confidence in high school. That would have made my life a lot more easy. I mean, same for everybody else, but yeah, just to not be afraid to put myself out there. Don't be afraid to raise my voice. Because I realize now that I do have a powerful voice and people will listen to me. And I know a lot of that is because of, the experiences I've had. And mostly negative experiences. But they've made me who I am today. I don't really have too many regrets in life. I'm happy to say that. But now I'm just trying to take things one day at a time. Because what is time anymore? Time is just, I don't know. I think every day is Tuesday. I barely leave my house.
Tuesday's the best day of the week. I will argue that till I'm blue in the face.
Tuesdays are good.
They are.
I like the Tuesday feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, COVID has definitely changed the way the world sees time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And so to wrap this up, I know you've stated in past interviews, you've given a voice to those who are often left out. And your dedication and commitment in giving a voice to marginalized populations without any expectation of reward or recognition really speaks volumes about your character. So in preserving your legacy with straightforward and heartfelt talk about those who are marginalized, what is one message that you would share with the world?
Oh,
I mean, you can give 2 or 3 if you want. You don't just have to stick to one.
yeah. I think just listen to us. You know, we're not here to like play games with people. You know, we're not gonna like mess around with anything. Just just hear us out. Just listen to us. Just believe us when we tell you things. You know, when we tell you we need a ramp somewhere. We need we need better health care. You know, we need better jobs. Just listen to us. You know, I'm not like I tell people I'm trying to get like more personal care assistance, so I'm not alone during the day. And, you know, I'm not trying to scam the government. I'm not trying to scam a health insurance provider. I'm just trying to get the absolute bare minimum care that I need to survive. And I and many other people like me can't even get that. So yeah, just listen to us. You know, we're telling the truth.
Yeah.
We have no reason to lie about anything. We have no reason to exaggerate anything. You know, we're not gonna stretch the truth. Just believe us.
And so for others who have like muscular dystrophy but want to become more active and helping change things and helping, because power comes in a lot with voices, the amount of voices, like how would they get involved? How would you recommend that?
Yeah, I don't think there's any rule book on that. You know,
Yeah.
you're just get involved in any capacity you're able to.
Yeah. Where do you
If,
start? Because it can be really intimidating to kind of start
sure,
the process.
sure.
Where do you search?
I think start you start by finding local advocacy groups. Advocacy groups. I can't say that word. That's the second time this week I tripped up on that word. Find local groups that advocate for things. There we go. Um, get involved with them. See what they need help with. Tell them what your strengths are. Tell them what you're good at, and tell them what you're not able to do. You know, they're not gonna kick you out. It's not some like exclusive group. It's not like a club with certain like prerequisites. You know, if you're passionate about what you're fighting for, you're gonna be accepted and welcome no matter what. Um, find local protests by you. If you can't do that, if you're not able to, or you're not comfortable with that, try making signs. Try just spreading the word. Um, this past primary season, I couldn't really get out much because, it was the winter, but I did a lot of phone banking. You can phone bank for politicians. If you're able to get out, canvas for them. If you're doing graphic design, come up with posters, mailers, whatever it is. There are so many ways to get involved, to lend your voice, to just fight for whatever you believe in. You know, your local representatives, their doors are always open, and they'll listen to you.
Yeah.
And don't feel like you have to do something. And don't get me wrong, I feel that way a lot too. During the Black Lives Matter protests, I wanted to be out there so badly, but I couldn't because of the virus. But I was able to donate. I was able to sign petitions. I was able to share articles, share petitions, share protest information. So there's so much out there.
Yeah. Thank you. I know it could be such an intimidating process to start. So it's always good to like get ideas on where to go with that.
Absolutely. And if anyone ever needs to be pointed in the right direction, I'm always happy to help.
Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for taking the time with us. We really, really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for having me.